Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Colby Rebel Show. I am your host, Colby Rebel, where my goal is to make that connection or answer that question. So excited to have you here. We have an amazing episode lined up for you tonight. We have our very first special guest of the new year, and really, what a guest she is. So, as most of you know, I've been really talking about manifestation, calling in your abundance, what it is you want. So we reached out and literally found one of the absolute most leading coaches in the industry for abundance and aligning your abundance and owning your abundance. So I would love to tell you about Petia Kolibova Burns. She is an abundant and light activation coach. She guides women intuitively to connect with their inner vision so they can experience personal and professional magnetism and become unapologetically abundant, which we all know is really important because as women, we always want to say sorry, right? So this is going to be fantastic to have this talk. Her mission is to empower visionaries who are on the path to embody their fullest self-expression, to soulfully expand into a quantum leap into all dimensions of their life. She is a certified breath work facilitator, Reiki, NLP, and human design practitioner. She leads her 6 to 7 figure clients to their next level in life and business. So please put your hands together for Petia Kolibova Burns. Hi, Petia.
I am so excited to be here today with you, Colby. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. And it could not be more perfect timing talking about the universe, manifesting, bringing it in. And I'd love to just kind of first tell everybody who you are, your story. I know at 18, your story is you were struggling with some eating disorders. You were trying to find your way. Louise Hay stepped in, and then all of a sudden, I think it just kind of put you on your path. So share us a little bit of your story.
Thank you so much for asking and for leading us back, because I feel like it's so easy for people to look at where we are today, right? What have we built? What are we doing now? And wow, nice life, right? You built a multiple 6-figure, published author, retreat host, happily married with, the love of my life, and really leading soul-led businesses, with my clients. And it hasn't been always this way. Like when we look at the backstory, I was living in scarcity. I was living all of the contrasts that you can imagine, because I was living in very small country and small town in Czech Republic with unpronounceable name. So living there, it was like a daily contrast. Seeing, it wasn't a poverty, but it was really the scarcity of people comparing themselves with others and always feeling like there is not enough time, there is not enough energy, there is not enough love. And it always felt like no matter what I do, it's not enough. And growing in a family that I was growing, my grandma was very loving, very affectionate. My mom was present too. However, my stepfather was very mentally and physically abusive. So that led me to believe that I am unworthy, that I'm unlovable. Because if I would, why would I be punished, right? That's how little kids think.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like experiencing this led me into eating disorder when I was 11 years young.
Wow.
Led me into toxic relationship, running away from home when I was 18. And like you mentioned, I ran away from home when I was 18. I attempted to suicide. And it was very hard for me. And I feel like I've been running because I felt like there must be more to life. I couldn't believe that we come here, we're born, we go to school, we get married, we go to the job that we hate, we live for the weekend, then you have 2.5 kids, then you die. I was thinking that whoever did this, whoever constructed this, like this can't be it. So
Right.
deep inside, I just felt like I am meant for more, but I didn't know what that more is.
Yeah.
So that's when I was getting, deep into my depression and bulimia. That's when I discovered Louise Hay, because I started to look outside and, asking Uncle Google how to be happy, how to overcome suicidal thoughts, how to like heal. And I found Louise Hay and all other authors, like Dr. Wayne Dyer, Gabby Bernstein, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, and all these people who brought me hope.
Yeah.
I literally started to brainwash myself. Like, instead of listening to the inner critic in my mind, I started to listen to the people who, no matter how broken, damaged, like desperate they were when they were growing up, they created a life of abundance and success, whatever it means
Yes.
for them, right? But that brought me a hope. If they can do it, I can do it. And that's when my personal and spiritual development journey really started, when I saw the hope. And I feel like it's so important, no matter where we are on our journey, no matter how far we are on our journey, we gotta remember that hope. We gotta
Yeah.
remember that like inner light, and keeping it alive. So that was my journey. And that's how I like became the one that I needed on my journey. I became
Yes.
a light activator. I became the abundance activator because I needed someone like that on my journey. I became that. And then through that embodiment and my work and, like everything that I've experienced, now I'm helping other women to do that too. And Colby, it is so life-giving. It's so
Yeah.
life-giving when I see women to lead like their businesses. Many of them are having spiritual businesses, and they're living in abundance and fulfillment because they became unapologetic about who they are.
Yeah. So that's really interesting, is in a way, I think it's fully accepting yourself to then finally loving yourself and realizing that there's something to offer, something to give. And, how do you take your clients through the process of being unapologetic, of
Mhm.
expanding that awareness?
It's a powerful question. And, through my experience and, almost decade on this journey, I saw like patterns that I had and my clients had. So I take them through like soulful ascension journey,
Hmm.
when the first step, the first awakening, it's you and yourself. You gotta know who you are. You gotta know what you stand for. We focus on,
Yeah.
generational healing, ancestral healing, inner child healing. Like, I feel like the very first stage, it's a lot of healing, a lot of
Hmm.
acceptance, a lot of compassion, because a lot of my clients are so very hard on themselves. So I
Yeah.
take them through their nurturing, the healing, and to really understand who they are. So, I use hypnosis, I use NLP, and I love using human design to bring them back to themselves and to really understand who they came here to be. So the first stage, it's really, you got to understand who you are and who you came here to be. And it's not about finding yourself, it's remembering who you are. So,
Yeah.
releasing all that conditioning and the layers that were put up on you. So it's coming back to that innocence. It's coming back to that remembrance. So that's the first stage. That's the first step, like the first awakening, you with you. The second stage of awakening, all the women who come into my life and my business, they want to be helping others. So now the second stage of awakening, it's you and the world.
Yeah.
I teach my clients on how to own their values, how to feel worthy, how to create abundance, and how to create businesses that make an impact so they can create world-changing abundance. I want women to be so rich that they can do whatever they want with whatever whoever they want, and
Mm.
really creating the changes, whatever you want to invest, whatever you want to found. Like, I really feel that my mission is to tip, the balance of women who have a big heart, who are so led, make so much money that they can influence the big things. Because when people say money doesn't matter, that's a BS. Because the thing, it's like, you can be a nice person and broke, but you're not going to influence what is happening in your family, in your country, in the world, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So the second stage of the awakening, it's really, who are you in the world and how can you create an impact and how can you create an abundance? So in that stage, we work with them on mindset, abundance, releasing scarcity, activation codes, and there's a lot of like intuitive work. So they know how to create a business that is true to them, not
Yeah.
following my blueprint. My blueprint, it's mine. You have your own codes, you have your own activations, right?
Yeah.
So it's really, who did you came here to be and how can you make an impact in the world? And then the third stage, last but not least, it's you with the divine. No matter what you believe in, it doesn't matter if you believe in God, source, universe, there is a power bigger than us. So the third stage, it's really connecting your intuition with the divine, stepping more into the feminine, because in a first stage, you learn who you are. In the second stage, you learn how to create abundance and help others. The third stage, it's embracing it all because you remember you are divine and you're not going to go back into feeling unworthy, imposter syndrome, and all of these things. We worked on that. And of course, it can come, right? Like
Yes.
new
Mhm.
levels, new ideas. And sometimes we doubt ourselves, but you remember your divinity. So that like embraces it all. So those are the 3 steps that I'm taking my clients through. And of course, they have like so many like stepping stones along the journey. But this is like the big picture of how I help them to really awaken and activate their abundance and generational healing.
It's beautiful. And I've also, just looking at the work you've done, it just seems as well that the women that you are working with, they also seem to have fun working with you. It seems to be a little bit of a gathering of a connection that you also build with them.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's super, super important for me and like in my business, because the thing is that I always tell my clients, you can go on Google, you can go on, YouTube, and you can find strategies, how to build a business, how to create abundance. You can find all those things online. But the thing is that it's really about the nurturing. It's really
Yeah.
about the nurturing and feeling seen. And I really built a lot of loyalty with my clients. And it's so beautiful for me to see how they can come back to themselves, to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel heard, to be fully present to themselves. And I personally didn't felt when I had coaches in the past that it helped me to, like, when they say like, oh, you got to do 10 calls and 5 messages and blah, blah, blah. It was all numbers, but there was no like deep care and nurturing. So that's what I'm now building with my clients.
I love it. So I love this idea of nurturing and deepness and connection with them. Do you also find that by working with them, it helps them become abundant in all areas of their life, not just in business?
Absolutely. And I love that you were asking, Colby, because very often when we think abundance, like the first thing that comes to us, it's money. And I
Yeah.
feel like money, it's a cherry on the top. Like we are chasing money. We're like, ooh, I want to make more money and then I will be happy. And I'm like, no, you won't, because the thing is that you get to really learn that the money, it's a byproduct of how you're feeling about yourself. It's your sense of worthiness right inside that will show on the outside. But when a woman work with me, there is an overall sense of abundance in relationships, in health, in their families, in their business, in the impact, in their contribution to the world. So money, of course, when you change, your reality changes.
Yeah.
But it's not just the money, because when women come to me and they feel like, I just want to make more money and I will be happy, I'm like, no, you won't.
Yeah.
It's not where you start, it's where you go and who you become. But it's not just the money. The money, it's a byproduct. And my clients, they 5 times 10 times their income because of all the work we are doing. But
Yeah.
everything in their life betters.
I love that, and I know for me, one of the things I love teaching, the clients I work with, my students, is is to be in alignment with what they want to be of service for. What is it they're passionate about? And I think that's really important because otherwise, no matter what, if we're not passionate or it's not in alignment, we're not going to have longevity. We're not going to want to do it in 5, 10, 15 years, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely. And I also feel like it is like what brings me joy, what makes me feel fulfilled right now, but also giving ourselves the permission to like release the things that no longer are. Like
Yeah.
my first business was social media marketing agency.
Oh,
And I love that because I love helping women to be more seen. I help them to grow their social media, their impact, but then I realized I'm like, I feel like this is just a part of it. That's not all
yeah.
of it. Because when I started to teach my clients about mindset and all this other work about personal development, their businesses started thriving. So I'm like, okay, like I don't want to be doing social media marketing, you know? So
Yeah.
now I still teach it to my clients, but it took me like so many months to release the first business because I'm like, I will be failure. I invested so much money. I invested so much time. I did
Yes.
so many courses, certification, all these things. And it was just my ego that I didn't want to release it, right? So I feel like we got to give ourselves permission to follow our curiosity and how we are unfolding and growing. Like learning new modalities and understanding you're not stuck. Like
Yeah.
in my business, we are using so many different modalities depending on what is helping me with my healing, depending on what I'm called to. And I give myself full permission. Like I'm not one person doing one thing. I'm one person who is multidimensional, multi-passionate, and I know how to tap intuitively into different tools and modalities that I have. And it gives me so much freedom. So I feel like, yes, follow your passion, curiosity, and joy, but also be really radically honest with yourself and don't waste time if something used to work. Like what worked in my business 3 years ago doesn't work now because I'm a different person and I
Yeah.
give myself permission to change.
Also giving yourself permission to uh, be kind to yourself, to be loving to yourself, to kind of say, hey, wait a second. Yes, I know this is what I've been doing, but maybe it's time to have a little bit more balance in personal life or a little bit more balance with health or in all areas.
I feel like that is super important because the thing is that if you're feeling out of harmony in a
Yeah.
different areas of your life, you're not going to feel fulfilled anyway. And
Yeah.
it's like we feel like we gotta focus on like, oh, I gotta build the business and then I will take care of my marriage or then I will
Yeah.
take care of my health. I'm like, no, like when you take care of your business, the next time there will be no health and no husband or wife waiting for you, right? So you gotta remember the bigger vision and the bigger picture, of how do you want to live your life. And you
Yeah.
have to remember, like, it's all parts of it. Your relationships, your health, your spirituality, your contributions, your finances, all of that, it's a part of it. But you cannot leave it all on the side and just say, I will do this one thing.
Yeah.
Of course, there are priorities, there are seasons. We got to look into that, right?
Yes.
When
Yes.
you're launching something, or maybe if your family situation is changing, we look into that. And we cannot think that we can put everything on the back burner that used to be important to us
Yes.
and it will be waiting there for us. Would you want to be put on the back burner? I don't.
No, but as women, we tend to do that, don't we? We tend to put everybody else before us and
Mhm.
say, well, I'll take care of me later. I'll take care of them first, whether it's the kid, the spouse, the family, the responsibilities. And I love the way that you are teaching women to say, hey, wait a second, I'm getting a front burner here, and we will find balance as we expand and grow together. I
I
love it.
feel like
So
it's so important.
it is important, and I love that you are not only that, it just seems that when you are working with your clients, you're working with them with love and with nurturing, and I feel like they come in feeling accepted, right? They come in feeling accepted so that they can be raw, vulnerable, so that the change can happen. So
Yes.
now I know you sometimes do you're talking about a mastermind that you are working on. Why don't you share what that is? Tell our viewers all about what that is and what does that mean?
What I love doing personally is doing like one-on-one work, because I feel like I can go so deep with my clients. However, what I realized that so many women, they're feeling alone.
Yeah,
Like they have family who doesn't get it. A lot of my clients are spiritual or spiritual business owners. A lot of them are service providers. So
yeah,
their family and their friends who are in 9 to 5, they don't get it. Like they don't
yeah,
understand. So with the mastermind that we are launching in March called Ritually Rewarded, we really teach women on how to build their community, how to be abundantly paid to be themselves, how to do the generational healing, but also how to create the impact. Because what I realized is that there is so many amazing women who have a beautiful gift, and they're so focused on the gift, on the survivor,
yeah,
that they are not able to like monetize it and create the abundance and income that they deserve. So we help them in a mastermind on, each of them will be on different levels, but we help them with like, like podcast or writing a book, publishing book, doing a summits, like really create the impact, because we're working with women who are helping others. And the other part of it, it's also how not only to create abundance, but also to keep it. Because
yeah.
I noticed at the beginning of my journey and with my clients, they come to me and like I had a client who did like, she hired me and she was making $800 a month in her business. And then when she hired me, like a couple months later, she did her first launch of a program that we created together. She made over 30K on her first launch. She never made that much money before. Couple months later, she's stressing about doing another launch because she was like, all the money is gone. I was like, it can't work this way. So it's
Yeah.
not only teaching women how to make money, I'm great in activating
Hmm.
abundance, but being really financially educated and stop
Yes.
like chasing the quick fixes and the shiny objects, and like really deeply changing their relationship with their money. So we will have like experts who we are bringing in who are spiritual, and always it's a must
Yeah.
for me, because it's a different understanding. Like you bring in accountant and we're sleeping, bored to life, right? No, I'm bringing in speakers and coaches who are living that, who are
Hmm.
truly created a soulful success in their life and the abundance. So it's like all around experience for women to have the support, have the community. And like I'm so nurturing and so hands-on that we help them with like their content and feedback, because I've been part in a mastermind in a, back,
Yeah.
and I never had so much hands-on support, because it was just like we meet every couple
Yeah.
of weeks, we talk, and like bring in your problem, we suggest a solution, and then you're on your own.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work, and not
It,
everyone is in a place to invest in high-end coaching with me. So we
yeah.
wanted to bring something that will really make a difference, that will be hands-on. So our clients from the mastermind, they can like weekly submit their content, and we'll give them feedback how to tweak it, how to shift it, so it really makes a difference, so it really attracts their soulmate clients and the opportunities in their life and business. So I'm really excited for it, because I feel like we will be able to impact so many more lives, and the
Yes.
collaborations with like-minded people who are leading from a soul that is priceless.
No, that's beautiful, and I love it. And again, that's kind of, a lot of times, you'll have someone who will launch their package or launch their program, and and they'll just think that's it. It's off into the world. It's perfect, and it's no, it needs flow. It needs work. It's so even if we have a spiritual business and a spiritual practice, there has to be a business mindset behind it. And I think it's great that you're helping to educate women as well. It's not, again, it's not just here's your outline, go have fun. It seems really practical. But again, it seems like you're offering those steps to help support it as well, which, even with the NLP, which is great, and the meditations, I saw that, you do the meditations, um, and it seems too that maybe you bring them into a group as well to kind of have conversations. So it just feels like overall they have a community as well. And I think we thrive more when we do have a community.
We do. And also it's like, I realized that I absolutely love my one-on-one clients. And of course, I will keep doing my one-on-one. That's what really lights me up. And I
Yeah.
realized that sometimes when I'm working with my clients one-on-one, like it's me and her,
Yeah.
when she brings in some challenge. But imagine if it's me and other 8 to 10 women, because we want to keep it really
Yeah.
intimate. So I
Yeah.
have a space and energy to help them really one-on-one. But imagine if you have other women, let's say 3, 4 other women who will tell you, I feel the same way. I went through the same thing. So it's not just Petia sympathizing with
Yeah.
you and say like, hey, I see you. You will see that there is other ways, other perspectives, other possibilities. And I am not be it all, know it all. I keep becoming and evolving.
Yeah.
So we will, and it's by application, it's not like you click the button and whoever wants to, like whoever can pay will join.
Yeah.
We are going through really sorting process to make sure that the women who are coming into the group are bringing a value. They're all heart-centered, soul-led, and really connected so they can help each other and we can be as a beautiful, powerful community.
I love it. That's beautiful. And I know in the idea of being unapologetically abundant, that I know that you have found your soulmate. So and for me, for what I do, I believe that's when the vibration is a match. When it's a vibrational match, that's when our partner comes in. How do you, hold the space for that relationship, for that partner, and for you both to grow and expand together?
I love that question. And also you're so right about the inside. It's all about the vibration on the energetic
Mhm.
level, who we are calling in, whether it's, like romantic partner, whether it's clients, whether it's business
Yes.
sponsors, right? It's your energetic match. And in the past, I was in relationships, with men who were cheating on me, who were narcissistic. Some of them were even abusive, because
Yeah.
that's what I experienced when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to feel and think that there's something better because I used to read I don't know if you know them, like the romantic books, Harlequins,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
my mom used to read them. So I was reading them. There must be a better love. There is so much passion and love in these books. Where is mine, right? So it's very interesting because I was never energetic match because I would be such a people pleaser. I would lose myself in relationship. I didn't even know who I am because men, they would met me and I would be like independent and strong. And then I come into the relationship. I'm like, honey, whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And it's just like completely losing myself and my identity in the
Yeah.
relationship. So after my last relationship, when I find out we were with my partner for like almost 5 years, I find out that 3 out of those 5 years he was cheating on me. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm not going to do that ever again. Like, I became the best lover that I ever had. Took myself on a date, like got myself the candles, got myself the flowers, and went on a hikes because there were things that I'm like, I'm not going to go to the restaurant or I'm not going to go on a hikes alone. This is silly.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I ask myself, how would I feel when I'm in loving, loyal, faithful relationship? What would I do? How would I feel? What we would be doing together? And I started to do those things. So I started to shift my energy.
Yeah.
And there was a moment, Colby, when I'm like, you know what? I feel so good. I don't actually need him. And I don't want to do laundry. I don't want to do his dinners. I don't want
Yeah.
to clean the house for two. And the moment when I'm like, this is actually cool, 2 weeks later, I meet my husband. So,
Yeah.
and And he is like, it's just, we're together next month in actually like 3 weeks. We're celebrating our 5 years anniversary.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I was just telling him right before I jump, and you saw him, my tech
Yeah,
wizard.
yeah.
But right before the interview, I was telling him, thank you for being the best husband in the universe. And I mean it. He's
Yeah.
so loving, so supportive. In my personal journey, how am I feeling? In my
Yeah.
business, I am so seen. I'm so supported for who I truly am, not who I am to him and for him, but the woman that I am. And I'm being loved in all of my dimensions. Whether I'm acting like a crazy 5-year-old who wants some vegan ice cream at 10 p.m. at night, or if I'm a business badass woman who is making
Yeah.
multiple six figures.
Yeah.
I am being loved in all of my dimensions because I embrace them, because I love them, because I see them, because I accepted my wholeness, my light and my shadows. You
Yeah.
cannot attract a partner if you're carrying the shadows around like something dirty, putting it under your carpet
Yes.
and feeling shame and guilt. It will come up.
Yes. And well, congratulations, because that is beautiful and amazing. And it's funny too, because again, as professional women who are career oriented, I think both of us probably were focused on career, and also I know going to the movies, going out to eat, going on trips, and you're right. But having that independence and feeling good in your solidarity, I think is very, very powerful. And not everybody gets to experience that.
Hmm.
And I think it is wonderful that when you do have that partner that is embracing of that, and you become complements of one another. So
Hmm.
that's really fantastic and wonderful.
I feel like we get to remember that we're whole and
Yeah.
complete as individuals,
Yeah.
versus
Yes.
like I'm looking for someone to complete me. I'm looking for someone who will make me feel whole. Like
Mhm.
me and my husband, we both know we're amazing individuals. We are amazing by ourselves. When we come together, we're even better. We're even stronger. We are even more impactful. Like, he recently just joined my business because he had his own business, his own partnerships. And, just like last month, he came and was like, why I keep looking for other business partners if we are so perfect together,
Yes.
because of my gifts of femininity and flow and nurturing, and his gifts of being planning and strategizing, analytical, tech wizard. Like
Yeah.
we combined it. And I know that with that, we will be able not only to grow our business and our family, but create a bigger impact.
I know we have a podcast, so I'd love for you to tell us about your podcast, the purpose of the podcast, which I'm pretty sure we can kind of take a guess at with the title. But tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about it, if you don't mind.
No, I would love to. Thank you so much for asking because, Unapologetically Abundant, it's a podcast that was born because I got so inspired with other women who are podcasters and who were sharing their journey, and they were so raw. I'm like, I was like crying. I'm like, wow, if I can be impacted by someone's journey this way, what if I can impact someone with my journey? What if I will be the one who ignite the change in someone's life? And we call it Unapologetically Abundant. Like first it had a different name. It was Be Strong Minded. A few months later I changed it because I realized, Colby, that the moment that I became unapologetically me, that's when I created abundance. That's
Yeah.
when I call in better health. That's when I call in my husband. That's when I call in soulmate clients. That's when I, release other businesses and opportunities and said, this is my soul's mission. And that's when I created the abundance, working 2 to 3 days a week and not hustling 7 days a week that I was doing
Yes.
before.
Yes. And having the mindset of scarcity, like you were talking about at our opening as well. So
Yes.
that's amazing. Now, if you don't mind, I know our time is running out already, Petia. If you don't mind telling people your website, where they can find you on social media.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to connect on my Instagram. That's a place that I love connecting the most, which is my name, Petia Kolibova. I, know Colby will like later put it on
Yep.
in the show notes. So it's my name, Petia Kolibova. My website is also petiakolibova.com, and my podcast, Unapologetically Abundant. Those are really the three places that I love connecting and love serving.
Well, it's been so wonderful to have you. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to join me today. I know you're so busy, but I do want to thank you for everything, for your insight, your wisdom, but mostly for sharing your gifts to empower and help other women. So thank you so much, Petia.
Thank you so much, Colby. I really deeply appreciate you. I love your work and I love the beautiful space that you have created, not only for me, but also for others to really feel seen and understood. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night, Petia.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Petia. What an amazing and powerful woman she is, especially helping others to find their own power and to become unapologetically abundant, which is wonderful. Just want to share a couple little things coming up. We do have our spiritual business group mentoring starting February 2nd. So this is a 4-week program. Very intimate group. I love helping you to build and expand your spiritual business regardless of what stage you're at. Also, Valentine's Day is coming up and I'm very, very excited to do Valentine messages from Spirit. It is Monday, February 13th. And we have beginners platform also coming up, and that's Tuesday, February 22nd. So please come join me. You can see colbyrebel.com. Lots more coming up, coming out. Thank you so much for listening, joining me today, listening to Petia. Please, please subscribe to her incredible podcast support and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to The Colby Rebel Show. Be sure to follow Colby on social media at Psychic Rebel. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please head on over to iTunes to leave a review to help Colby grow the tribe. Colby is an international psychic medium, teacher, best-selling author, and speaker. She is a master teacher of the Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development and is the owner of the Colby Rebel Spirit Center in Los Angeles. Visit colbyrebel.com.